Okay, hello. Mr. Can, do you still enjoy the game? Or are you playing it because of contractual obligations? Okay, listen, is it bad? I enjoy my own game. This is just good. Is that like arrogant to say? Like I enjoy playing my own game. My job, like everything from the concept stage of like coming up with the ideas for Quick Play 2, all the way up to like the individual design of each thing, like the targeting formulas and stuff, right? The hidden values, all the like back work there too, the mods, etc. So those were all designed by me. And then also the art direction was done by me. I didn't actually make the backgrounds, but I can show you what I drew, and then we can look at the final. We can do like a little comparison here. This is the final version. So the first two floors you won't be able to see. I have them posted on my Twitter though. And here are my sketches. So starting from the casino, this is the floor that we're actually on here. So the like composition and the like different layers of the backgrounds and stuff. So these are my sketches for them, right? So we'll look at like the arena here. I'll scroll up. So you can see here, this was the casino that we just went over, right? Yeah, like it's very one-to-one with my sketches. The thing is like the composition matters a lot, right? Can you add more Tetris terminology rooms? I mean, it was because I was drawing a blank on the like names for the shop, so I just started listing Tetris setups. Like, I don't know if I want to do more of that. And then yeah, there's like the broadcast room here. And then yeah, this is how it turned out in the final. Also, I do like the writing for this stuff. There is lore behind it. It's not things that I really want to talk a lot on because that's not the place of me here. Like I don't want to get into a spot where like the canon lore is just like derived from watching my stream, right? Like I think that's a little weird. Cause like you'll see there are some like indie games, some very like niche indie games or fan games. You'll go on the wiki for their game, and there's like a bunch of lists of like traits about the characters, right? That never appear in the game. And then you click on the actual source and it'll be like a Discord screenshot. If any of you guys are into like Lisa fan games at all, which they're all like super goated. I fucking love those games, right? A lot of them, they will have like, for example, Lisa the Pointless, they'll have so many details on the wiki, and then you click on the sources and it's like, the dev mentioned it in like a joke in Discord or something and it became canon. Yeah, you can see here, this is this floor. And it doesn't show in the sketches, but this is a character with like a lot of significance. The design for the stone tablet here too. Originally in the sketches, it was lorem ipsum. So you can see here, if you read closely, it's just all of lorem ipsum. You hand wrote lorem ipsum. I mean, like, what the fuck do you want me to do? And yeah, the statue here, I had a lot of notes on how this should look in terms of like kind of like a Greco-Roman type of like hero statue. Yeah, there's like a lot of thought put into a lot of these things. It's a kind of tough sell to spend a lot of development and resources and a lot of time on something that's just like a lot of rich lore and story into a Tetris game, because some people will say like, oh hey, it's like not that deep, bro, it's just Tetris. But like these are things that I find important for like a polished game. That's the direction that I'm taking with a lot of the new Tetrio content that's to come over the next few months. Were you always a Tetrio dev? If not, how was your journey to join one? So it's been since 2020. I've been working on a bunch of things, right? A bunch of like kind of R&D projects, but this was the first thing that I've made to hit the public. And so that doesn't mean that there's more to come, right? That doesn't mean that there's more banger updates. I would say that like my designs, they're all like pretty ambitious. They're very much the kinds of things that don't see the light of day for a while. As for my journey to become one, it wasn't really a journey. I just like I was someone in early inf dev of Tetrio that like gave a lot of feedback for the game, and me and Osk had talked many times, and he had liked the kind of vision that I had for the game. When it came to like talking about game design and actually like doing game design, it was not like a journey or a process, right? It's just a fairly natural thing. We had to change the Blitzer achievement. If you look at the achievements page and you look at Blitzer, this used to say Blitz runs completed to match Sprinter, which is 40 lines games completed. So the problem is with 40 lines, like you actually have to do something to finish a run. With Blitzer, like you just have to wait 2 minutes. And so we can add as many checks as we want. We can add as many like little things as we want. But at the end of the day, like it is still going to be something where the top person is going to be someone who like lazily just like plays 2-minute runs over and over again. Another one that we had to change or just remove was Reverse Sweep Specialist. Reverse Sweep Specialist was an achievement where your amount of rounds won while your opponent is match point. Like that sounds like a fun concept, but in practice, people were just constantly throwing games in Tetra League. Yeah, it was Deep that mentioned me, right? And he's like, hey, as a moderator, this is actually horrible and I hate it. And I'm like, okay, cool. See, the problem with a lot of these achievements is that there are some things that just kind of exist as extensions of another achievement. So for example, if we have like pieces held, that will correlate pretty heavily with pieces placed. As pieces placed goes up, so will pieces held, especially at the highest levels of play, where if you look at like the leaderboard for Stacker and then you look at the leaderboard for Elegance, it looks almost identical. Actually, wait. Yeah, it's almost identical. It's not quite. Yeah, these things, like, they'll basically just go up together. Redundant achievements like that are generally something I try and avoid. Anyways, let's play a run. And yeah, the like tarot cards also turned out super well. A lot of Tetris games fall into the trap of making like literally everything block themed. Like they want to make every single last part of the game blocky, right? It ends up making a lot of them look very tacky. Something that I really, really wanted to push for was like a tasteful amount of blocks, right? Where the Hermit is still very much the Hermit with like the invisible blocks in the back. The artist for the tarot cards also did a very, very good job. This was done by Rickman. In general, like, fuck it, I'm playing Escape Artist. Wheel of Fortune, okay. Yeah, okay, I know I've been like talking about all the things that I did and stuff, but like, shout out to the team too. Dementio is part of the team for Tetrio. He's made a lot of very big contributions as well. Working with the Tetrio team, like, it's very, very easy. And which is a compliment, right? Which is a really, really big compliment, because I mean, like, I was able to make something good, but it's because like everything else just works, right? I just send in the change list and then it like happens. Now it's crazy. Some people, like, I'll read chat. I'll read the chat in quick play, because I'll lurk the quick play lobby a lot, and sometimes I'll just spectate, right? One of the things that I've noticed a lot is that like a lot of people have no idea that I was the one who designed this, right? So people are like, oh my god, like, Osk, this is such a great idea. And I'm like, it's okay, it's fine, right? Like, this is only natural, but like a tear comes to my eye. Where are the Tetrio characters I can make fan art for? Soon. I should not say words. Okay, actually no, forget I said soon ever. It's not soon. Okay, I actually, no, not soon at all. I'm sorry. I've forsaken the entire development team. I fucked up. I have made a severe lapse in judgment. Garbo, how long was this in the works? The concepts for it started around late last year, around like November, December-ish. I was drafting up concept. We actually like had officially started progress on it around like the start of this year. Okay, but like I cooked with the name of this achievement. Escape Artist? Like, fuck. It's one of my better ones. It beats Opener Main. Okay, you try writing a bunch of achievement names in flavor text. There's gonna be some bad ones. Yeah. No, it's so funny. There's some you can tell I just put no effort into. I actually want to rework some of the achievements, but I'm afraid that like players will get too attached to the names, so it's too late. It's the kind of thing where like in development, I had named them one thing and told myself like, hey, I'll change it later, and then it never changes and it just ships that way. Nah, I'm like fucking insecure about my writing skills. Like, I am probably the best one on the team to do it, but man, like, there are some bad ones there. I will admit. I'll be the first to admit. I hate trying to, like, tell people that you're bad at something, because people just, like, people who are really good are also, like, humble to a fault that way. So it's very hard to actually effectively communicate, like, no, I actually just suck at this thing. I was thinking about like the idea of like, I was looking at Blitzer. I was trying to think of like a kind of play on it, a parody of Blitzer. This is 2 minutes of perfection, right? Like I'm just gonna make it 2 minutes of imperfection. So the flavor text came first and then the name after. My favorite ones are like pretty simple. I like the Magician. This is easily my favorite one. It's short, it's simple. I fuck with the like flavor text. Inspiration is nothing short of magic, right? It's nice. There are also some where like I tried to kind of tell a story like how a like actual tarot reading would. So like Emperor's Decadence, right? The problem is you can't really tell unless you know which cards these correspond to, but it's the Emperor, the Devil, and Temperance, right? So like these kind of like paint a picture. And Divine Master, you can see the icon for it is like a 4-card tarot spread in like a cross, right? Did you also create the achievement icons? I had direction in the achievement icons, but those were actually made by Osk. This is some Tetris 99 shit. The great part of it is that you can start at any time, right? So you can jump in and just start playing. I had like started with the idea that like, okay, well, quick play is Like, it would be a crime to actually describe quick play as quick. So, like, let's do something about this, right? Yeah, it's like a kind of MMO type of thing where everyone's in the same lobby and you can just hop into the same tower. It actually, I didn't have .io games in my mind until later. People say like, oh yeah, this is like inspired by .io games. And like, it is kind of true in the fact that it's persistent and stuff, but like, I'll be honest, chat, it was far more inspired by like the Hypixel Pit than it was IO games. That's a throwback for some people. And yeah, and CSGO 1v1 server. There were a lot of inspirations for it that weren't IO games. Happy Tuesday. Yes. Happy Tetrio Tuesday. Sorry, for legal reasons I can't. I fear lawyers will spawn in front of my face if I speak wrong. Yeah, speaking of like lawyers, I guess they aren't lawyers, they're like regulators, but one of the things that I really wanted to add was like a Tetra League spectating and gambling, right? It's an idea that I really think would be fun. Like just having a bunch of people spectate and like there's a live chat where you can like hype up the match. I think that would be really, really fun, but the problem is that that's like so illegal in so many different places for games to do, right? Like UK regulators are gonna like gut me alive if I do that. Same with like Korea, right? And Korea is one of our biggest regions. So I will not bite the hand that feeds. The TL Season 2 changes, I actually don't know. There's a lot of it that I don't really know. We're gonna do testing on it, but I think the fundamentals behind like the idea of it is solid. It's gonna be unbalanced on release. I'll have to adjust some numbers. I do think that after some tuning, it can bring the versus meta to a, not only like a new place, but also like a more, healthy is not the word I want to say either, but just like, and dynamic is a word that means absolutely nothing. People will say dynamic to fucking describe literally everything. I don't know. I think that it can go over well. That's the gist of it. Okay, it didn't get seen the first time, but I must ask, does Tetra hire people for art and music ever, or does Oz just do everything? I'm always looking for games to work on. DM me on Discord. So I'm actually the one that does hiring for art. Or like contract stuff, right? So yeah, DM me, and we can talk about it. I obviously can't guarantee you anything, right? Thoughts on future cars for future off-seasons? It's kind of tough because on one hand, like, I do like the idea of more cards, and there are like many other tarot cards that I wanted to implement. Like, I wanted to add the Fool in, because the Fool and the Magician are my two favorites, but I couldn't find a good way to add the Fool in. And there's also the scrapped idea, which was originally going to be Wheel of Fortune, which was having random pieces instead of 7-bag. So there's like a couple of like good ideas for them, but I also really like the current base of mods and their dynamics between them, so it's something that I also don't really want to part ways with. Random made quick play is gonna be insane. Yeah, part of my reason for not doing it is because it feels like, especially with how clean the garbage has been in this game mode on the early floors, like it's not very fun to have to just play random pieces while trying to down stack like single column like 10 lines of clean garbage. How's the idea on adding more visual or gameplay gimmicks to quick play for events? Kind of like how there were Christmas themed boards. So making a whole new floor, like there's a lot of layers that go to it. It's kind of expensive to do for just like a small event. There are other things that I am looking towards, like having event only mods, for example. One of the things that I had thought of was like a challenge mode, right? A challenge mode that is exclusive for a single event where there's like specific rewards for placing on leaderboards in the challenge. Random idea, you could have like a special mission that you can select, escort mission, right? Where you have to bring a like bot that keeps dying to the top and you have to keep reviving them. Stuff like that, right? There's also, we could do like a special duo mode for Valentine's Day. Stuff like that, you know, tap into the e-dating audience. I've played so much Tetra this week, my hand is so tired. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of messages from people saying like, Garbo, I'm addicted. It's like, I have to like not sound happy about it. I have to be like, oh no, please focus on your life. I've become an evil game dev. Now, we were having so many issues with servers. We fixed the crashes. So there was an issue with crashes, and we found out it had to do with the duo bug. So there was a bug in the game that allowed you to duo with more than 2 people, and you could like cram many people into a duo. And the problem is that every single time the bug happened, it wouldn't clear the duo that had like died from memory, and then that would be in like everyone's game, right? And it would pile up, and so it would create like a huge like snowball of games taking memory permanently until the server crashed every time. So yeah, that's why the servers were crashing. So we fixed that. One of the things, which I guess no one really knows, but I'll reveal it here, is that your chance of getting targeted actually increases as you play for longer. People see the like fatigue, right? And people will think that fatigue is like the only downside to playing for a long time. At points in your run, you'll actually become more likely to be targeted. And that's just a behind the scenes thing. Because if you can get to floor 10 fast, it's huge, since there's a thing in the game called targeting factor. And what targeting factor does, it's like a relative to the people around you, like how likely you are to get targeted. Because on floor 10, there are a lot of people with very high targeting factors. If you get here in like, let's say like sub 2 minutes, right? As some people have been able to, you can spend a really long time just like LST stacking for free and you don't get bothered that much. Ego check. Do you think this game mode is better than Tetris Splash? I mean, I think this is probably going to be what a lot of people's most played Tetris game will be for a while. I don't think we'll see much competition. That's what I'll say. Give us more info on how to trigger hyperspeed. With hyperspeed, basically you want a high climbing speed. And so you can see that run, I got peak climbing speed 8, which is the light blue one, which is the light blue bar at the bottom here. But on floors 1 and 2, you need climbing speed 8. On floors 3 and 4, you need climbing speed 9. And on floor 5, you need climbing speed 10. Once you hit floor 6, it's actually impossible to enter hyperspeed. So you have to like have a really fast start to a run, basically. Are there any plans to keep the game playable after the official servers shut down? The official servers aren't shutting down. There are no plans. The game is very healthy. We plan on taking this long term. How do the revivals work? It feels like sometimes you can get blasted ridiculously hard revival requirements and at the start and then be nearing 2K and get some of the easiest stuff ever. So there are tiers. It goes from E rank to A rank, and each category has a list of revival prompts, and the difficulty scales up by floor, but it also scales up by the amount of revives done. If you've already revived once, then it'll advance you the equivalent of 3 floors. So what's probably happened is that you've done several revives and then it gives you a ridiculously hard one. 2 consecutive J and L spins in a row. Yeah, that is an A rank one. Some of the other A rank prompts are do a color clear. Clear 40 lines is a funny one. Clear 2 SRZ spins in a row. Clear an I spin double. They are generally pretty tough. I think I spin double, people have actually kind of solved it. Does doing an all clear count as a color clear? Yes. So a color clear is basically just any time when you can clear all of the colored blocks off of your board. So it has nothing to do with garbage. Any plans for single player game modes? I miss playing. Okay, well, first of all, I miss playing 5 Million Blast is not a sentence I've heard anyone say in their life. And another thing that I want to beat the allegations for here, because people keep asking me about it, like not in this stream, but at other times. I did not create 5 Million Blasts. I did not create 5 Million Blast. I created some of the like, or it was some of the ideas for like column evaluation and stuff, but they were not supposed to be used for a single player game mode. They were supposed to be used for other things. But OSC just like used the systems that we were like testing. I did not hand in 5 Million Blast. That was not me. But I do have plans for single player modes. I do have big plans for single player modes, but none that I can share at the moment. Was the exclamation mark thing for splitting up spikes originally a thing? How did that idea come in development? So I'll open up paint. I really don't need paint, but it's nice to have. When you send, like, let's say you send 7 lines, right? When you send 7 lines, this actually doesn't send 7 lines to a person, to one person. It used to, right? To one board. It used to do this, and the game fucking sucked. So sometimes people would be on like a really long back-to-back chain. And this was before the new back-to-back chaining was a thing. It would just send your full attack. So if you're on like a decent back-to-back chain and you send like a quad, someone just gets 7 lines of garbage. If like, let's say Blarg just like dies at 5,000 meters and respawn, like someone's gonna be taking like huge attacks from him over and over and over again. This was a pretty big problem. What we did was we made it so attacks will split up into groups of 4. So now instead of being 7, it'll split up into 4, 3, right? And then this will send to 2 different people. So, and then if you send, like, let's say 10 lines, right? 10 lines, this will be split into like 4, 4, 2, and then this will go to 3 different boards. That was a thing, and that made the game significantly healthier, but one of the things that we started adding in later was damage multipliers. So let's say, for example, and this is a formula that I made. So basically, if there's someone at like, let's use the heights here, 2,800 height, and there's a person at 1,200 height, and they send here, right? Then this will be multiplied by like an amount based on the height difference. Like one of the problems there is that, okay, well, it's more balanced, right? It's not like the rich get infinitely richer to the end of time, right? But what ended up happening was that at a certain point, the game just feels completely unplayable because even though you're only getting 4 lines, it'll get multiplied by like 5 or some shit, right? And you're just gonna get like, or not 5, it's never multiplied by 5, but it'll multiply by like 3 times, right? At some point, if you're really, really high up, and then you'll just get like 12 lines. And so what the exclamation point was put in the game to make it so when you get those huge attacks, it'll still make it feel like it was split up, like the rest of the tower. So instead of making it feel like you got spiked really hard, it makes it feel like you're getting many small attacks at once, right? So it balances out. That's how that came to be. He plans for more cooperative play. Like if your duo is about to die, you can pop an ult to tank all the garbage. For quick play specifically, not really. I do want to keep duo mostly as is. In terms of other cooperative modes, something that I've always wanted to do is always want to make like a 2v2 or like a teams mode that was actually not poorly designed, right? It's very easy to just like say, hey, you're on a team and it's like gesturous. I do want it to be something that's like cooperative and designed to be like fun with a group of people rather than just like a gimmick, right? How would it separate itself from gesturous teams? In terms of like design-wise, it would include things that make it more cooperative, because if you think about gesturous teams, like you're just kind of playing versus next to another person, and then like when one person tops out, the other person takes a ton of garbage and then tops out as well. It's very hard to have it feel cooperative. One of the reasons why I did Revive the way they are, right, is because I wanted it to feel more connected to your partner for a low amount of effort, right? It's not like we're making a completely new mode for duo. I do want to put in a lot of effort to make it like a well-designed thing that feels satisfying to play with your friends. Oh fuck, wait. Wait. Oh, this is bad. Oh, the situation's critical. Oh, fuck. No, the situation is bad. Wait. Okay, chat, I think I need to end stream and play and win a game of League of Legends. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Wait, but the cutoff shot up by like crazy. Well, I guess that's what I get for not playing in a week. Like, my bad for having the release of Quick Play 2 to tend to. Just played on stream? Bro, I'm not playing League ranked on stream. Fine, chat, you win. I will stream League. All right, anyways. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna like go forever now. So, yeah, anyways. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys someday. All right, peace.